Hey y'all. So I wanted to come on here and discuss something that I saw on Twitter. So I'm heavy on Twitter at It's King's World on Twitter. And I was tweeting and when you tweet other people's posts that's related to what you're talking about comes up, etc. So I was talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, right? And something that someone tweeted kind of spoke out to me. And the tweet was, it's interesting that nobody's calling Karen Colorist, Karen Huger, when they said that it's pretty obvious in terms of her treatment of Wendy. And I got to thinking, I said, ooh, this is something good to talk about, right? So we all know the definition of colorism. And we all know how colorism is different from racism, but it's from the same branch. It all stems from racism. Colorism is a little it's deeper in the terms of it affects communities of people, not just Black people, not just African American people. It's Black people all over the world, from Haiti to Dominican Republic to Puerto Rico, etc. You don't have to be Black at all to experience colorism. It's in India, it's in Asian communities, etc. Anybody that's not white, pretty much. And so, yeah. Now, I have been one of the people that have claimed that I feel that there has been colorism on the Real Housewives of Potomac as it pertains to the treatment of Candace and Wendy, right? Coming from Ashley, Giselle, and Robin. In my opinion, I still feel that way. I don't think that it is the main reason. Is how shall I say this? It's such a deep thing, and I'm not proficient in the exact I guess knowledge of it. I'm not trained in it, so to speak. I haven't studied it per se, but I know what it is in terms of how I have been treated. I know things that has treated me, that people have said to me throughout the years. Being a darker skinned Black person, I know when I see it, I know what it feels like, and I do have some, reference to it. So anyway, I still feel that way. But it's not blatant all the time. It's not like, oh, you Black this or you are this. It's underhanded, similar to how racism a lot of times it's underhanded. You have maybe one of the best resumes, if not one of the best resumes at the job. You are that person that everybody's looking at to get that promotion or whatever, and then you don't get it. And then a person of another race less qualified than you gets the job, stuff like that. Or you're working hard, you're doing your thing at work, while other people can slack off and not do anything and get all the credit, or get the same amount of credit as you when you did everything, stuff like that. It's just one example. But I just feel like it's just an overall mask, in a way, of people, meaning that people don't even know they're doing it half the time. And when you call it out, people, how dare you say that? Oh no, that's wrong. And where you get that from? Y'all come up with anything. Oh no, she just don't like you. And no, many people don't want to admit to their benefit in life. They don't want to, because they automatically think, oh, well, how can I'm Black or whatever, so how can I be that way? Or whatever, not knowing that it's embedded in all of us, to be honest with you. And you have to almost train yourself out of it, out of that kind of thinking, to say, say it's a black family and family members be like to kids, oh, stay out of the sun because you're going to get too dark. That is a form of like colorism. What is too dark and what is wrong with being too dark? Or relaxers, so to speak, to fit in with a more European standard of beauty and stuff. Or hashtag team light skin, all that kind of stuff is all, it's all a part of it, you know. Even if you think it's minor, it's not. To go around and let's say somebody's walking a dog and let's say you have all your little nieces and nephews with you and they say they only, let's say one is darker and one is lighter, and they direct, that random person is direct all their attention to that person and say, oh, you're so pretty, completely excluding the darker child. That kind of stuff that people don't think is, they don't think nothing of it when it first happened, but all of that is because of the thing. So I've been babbling, but I just had to get that out. It was on my spirit, child. Come on, full time. So anyway, it's Karen Huger, colorist. Well, let me say this. There is no proof. Hold on. Oh, I hope this phone don't fall, child. As Karen Huger, colorist, I'll say this. She comes from the South, the deep South. She comes from a time where it was heavy. Most of Karen Huger's family members, not that this is her fault or their fault, but most of her family members are light-skinned that we've seen. And we all know the history of lighter-skinned slaves versus darker-skinned slaves. One amazing thing their family did was buy the plantation that, where she bought the plantation her ancestors was enslaved on. And we all know the history with that. See, it's just so deep and it's just so embedded. I can't say for certain because I obviously don't know. Just like with the Candace and the Wendy thing, like I said, I feel that was a part of it. And to think, to have a person such as Candace and Wendy Osefo, who is and was two of the most accomplished people prior to Real Housewives of Atlanta, to Real Housewives of Potomac that they have ever seen, yet they're still treated like this. And the people that are treating them like this, like they're down here, and every person deserves respect, but the people that's treating them like this look like this. And so that's why those things are there. And then when you bring it up to them, they deny it. It's stupid. How can I be this way? My daughter's dark, blah, blah, blah. As if they have anything to this. Who cares? Whatever your kids are. You'll understand it maybe a little more when it's connected to your family, your kids in particular. And when your kids come home from school, somebody don't call them black or whatever kind of names. And then what are you going to do? You know, being who you are, who are you going to talk to about it? Because the men ain't going to say nothing, you know, about it. But anyway, because they with you because of... we ain't going to make this video too long because I can go on and on and on about this. You know, I know it's Black History Month, but it's just certain things as Black folks we just got to talk about, child. Black folks of all kinds. And I hope that all of you chime in the comment section so that we can talk about this. Do I think that Karen Huger is colorist? I don't know. Do I think colorism plays a part in everything? I personally do. Because racism plays a part. So why wouldn't colorism come along? I'm not saying it's always the determining factor. I'm not saying it's always the main thing, but is it always some of that in there in life? Yeah, it's life. It's life. It's not because, oh, this is a TV show and no, this is entertainment and always meant to get a rise out of you. It's in life. So why would it skip this? Something as small as just a reality television show, you know? She does come from an era. She's she's from the 60s era, the 50s era. And I know what it is. I know what it gives. From my mama, my aunties, or sisters. I can't say. I can't say whether she is. I don't feel like Karen is. Um, but you don't know a person's inner thoughts and whatever's going on. Um, what I feel is mainly the issue when it comes to Karen and Wendy. When it comes to Karen, issues with Wendy is pure jealousy. Pure. There's nothing else. You have this person that is on the come up on Potomac, Wendy. This is probably her most successful season in terms of her being seen. Wendy was in almost every scene in terms of her having a great family life. She's educated. She's beautiful. She's fashionable. Wendy is that girl. A girl who Karen never saw was that girl from the beginning. You know, she didn't claim that she even knew Wendy. And Wendy and her was in the same social club or whatever. And she claimed that she didn't even know Wendy or nothing like that. And she did tell Giselle certain things about Wendy that, oh, she don't belong here and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely. 1000%. And Wendy had no hesitation in saying that she believed it. All of it. So, you know, could it be? It's possible. It's possible. I think that Karen has done a good job at remaining neutral for the most part. I think she's done a good job at keeping it under the radar. And I hope that she's just not coming at Wendy just for a storyline purpose. You know, but these reality shows, they're tricky. You got to watch, folks. You half the time, you don't know what's actually real and what's not. Reality is not reality, really. I mean, people make up having STDs and stuff on these shows and illnesses and all that. So please. So that's always been there. That's always been there. And she just realized it's better just to get along with Wendy. And so here we go with this friendship underlying it. Could you imagine having a person being there for a lot of your accomplishments and you loving on them and y'all seemingly loving on each other and being there for one another just to find out this person can't stand you for real? How hurtful. And Wendy was so hurt by the whole thing. She was extremely hurt. Giselle, you know, she wanted to make a big deal about, oh, well, I told you, Wendy, I told you how you... But Wendy was like, I didn't trust you. And who would? Giselle, you've been awful to Wendy for how long? And I wonder, and I always go back to this, but I do wonder if Candace and Robin was to return to the show, one of them or both of them, how would Giselle then treat Wendy? Would she go back to the same old stuff? Because I'm sure Candace and Wendy are going to have scenes together. And Candace and Giselle has completely fell out. So how is that going to work? Giselle going to cuss Wendy out about bringing her in scenes where Candace is at? What's tea? What's going to happen? So I don't know. Housewives of Potomac should be interesting. I think next week is when we find out what's going to happen to Aunt Karen. She's really showed her tail. Karen has always been one of my favorites. But the way she's doing Wendy, I just can't rock with it. Something has to be revealed, something as to what Wendy has done to her, because we ain't seen nothing. We ain't seen nothing. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, and Wendy is extremely hurt by it. It really hurt her feelings. Yeah. She's secretly been competing with Wendy this whole time. Pure jealousy. I think it's the audacity of Wendy having all this and having all this confidence and being bossed up and being that girl and looking how she look. Skin and all. It's the audacity of it. What y'all think about Karen? Karen, I'm mad at you. You done showed out. There's no explanation. Let's talk. I'm going to go. Let's talk in the comment section. What y'all think about what I've said and the whole thing, child? With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at Skins on Instagram and Twitter, at Skins89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App, PayPal, TikTok, and as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.